Julia here from JM2 Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with the Ship With Me. These are all orders that came through over the weekend. Some really interesting sales, some kind of older sales, some like cool vintage pieces, and kind of an interesting mix of stuff to go through. But I'm kind of excited to bring you through like what sold, how much it sold for, how long I had it, really just bring you into that part of my process. Before we get started, if this is your first time here, if this is the first time we're meeting, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia. That is my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and reselling on the internet here. If that sounds like something that you might be into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But it is Monday and it is later than usual. I'm usually running late, but we are later than usual. We actually had kind of a big earthquake here this morning. We're fine here, thank goodness. I hope everybody in the LA area is safe, their homes are safe, their people are safe, just kind of a scary moment. But with that being said, I'm about an hour later than I'd like to be, and that's already too late. So why don't you go grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink, sit back, relax, and let's get into the shipments. So the first thing we got here is this great pair of Barefoot Dreams jogger pants. These are a size XL, which is a great size to find in stuff like this. Barefoot Dreams is just known for their super duper dreamy soft fabrics. Now, they're mostly known for this fabric called Cozy Chic, and they have like Cozy Chic Light, Cozy Chic Ultra Light. I feel like there's one more layer of Cozy Chic, but either way, it's this like really super plush kind of knit fabric. This is not Cozy Chic. This is like the softest fleece you've ever found in your life, and this really pretty like cadet blue celadon green color. And guys, I do apologize, it's another hot one, so I do have the air on, and if you hear the hum of that, I apologize. With the lights, I cannot be in this room without it right now. But Barefoot Dreams for me, especially if I find it at the bins, is like always a pickup for me. They don't sell for what they used to. I mean, like, their sweaters sell for close to $200, and they used to sell for close to $100. Now you're gonna get somewhere in between like the $30 and $50 range for one of their cardigans, which is still a great return on investment, especially if you're picking it up at that like lower price point. But something like this, it's going to be slightly lower than those Cozy Chic pieces. But it's still a brand to pick up. I would say you can comfortably pay up a little bit on it. Don't go paying like $15, but $5.99, $6.99 at the bins, like you'll probably see your return back easily. So I had these for just 4 days, and I had them listed for $38. Got an offer for $30, which I was glad to accept. With a $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $23 even. Like I said, Barefoot Dreams always sells really well for me. I don't know, like your mileage may vary, but again, like if you're getting it at like $5 or $6 or under, I'd be pretty comfortable picking up pretty much anything that Barefoot Dreams makes. Next up here, this is one of my favorite kind of things to find in the bins. This is a Modcloth skirt. It's like a party style skirt in this pretty like winter wonderland print. These kind of novelty print skirts have like collectors. It is a size XL. It's in fantastic condition. And the thing about Modcloth, I talk about this a lot. There are just limited places that make clothes like this that have this like level of whimsy or this level of like vintage inspiration. And when it comes to these kind of novelty print skirts, they generally make them for like one season. So collectors will like go out of their way to find them. So these are something that, they'll generally go $25 and up, no matter what. So take that with you as you're sourcing. Some of these things, depending on how like rare they are, I have sold ones recently for like $50. So they are usually a very good investment. I'll pick up pretty much anything from Modcloth. People just love it. And it's a pretty expensive brand, so people are always excited to like get a bargain on them, let alone find something that they can't otherwise buy. Anyway, so I had this listed for $38. I got an offer for $30 after 2 to 3 weeks with a $1 cost of the bins. This brought my profit to $26.75. I hope she loves it. These little skirts are just so cute and perfect for the holidays. Perfect for a little bit of whimsy. Next up, welcome to the Olympics effect. So this is a pair of Speedo Jammer Swim trunks. This is what the guys are wearing today in terms of like, this is like a practice suit. It's all black, Speedo endurance. And these kind of things, I feel like I missed an opportunity to talk about this because the Olympics kind of like came on really, really quickly. But anytime the Olympics are on, like I kind of strategically will like, I will go through anything I have like this that pertains to an event that they have in the Olympics. So like in the winter, I'll go through and I'll make sure I'm tagging any like ski or snowboard gear that I have selling. In the summer, any kind of like athletic swimsuits, warm-up trunks, whatever. I'll make sure that I keyword them with the Olympics, because this kind of stuff always sees an uptick in sales. And that's like not just on the resale market. That is like you go into like a sporting goods stores and they are having an uptick on sales. Anyway, so just make sure that if you have stuff like this, the next time the Olympics rolls around, that you are keywording it, you are leveraging the kind of buzz around the Olympics. That being said, something like this, like a plain black jammer suit, I will only pick up at the bins, and only if it's in great condition, because they're not going to sell for all that much. Even on non-Olympic times, they're generally a pretty good seller, because people like to have multiples of these like in their house, so they don't have to constantly be washing theirs. But I had this listed for $22 for just 1 week. Got an offer for $18, which I gladly accepted, and with a $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $13.40. Actually, I think that was my sidekick sent that offer. So either way, I hope he loves it. I hope you get some good laps in there. Next up, okay, so this was an interesting one, and so this is a pair of shorts from a brand called Zulu and Zephyr. And this is definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. It's an Australian brand, super high-end, they're linen, they're striped. This is a very expensive brand. And I've had a couple like swim cover-ups from Zulu and Zephyr that have sold very, very well. This is the first like non-kind of topper piece that I've had from them. The quality is unbelievably good. It's very, very nice. And I've had a little bit of action on these, but not too terribly much. I feel like shorts for me are amongst like my worst seller. And like as somebody who struggles to find shorts that fit me, and generally will like only buy shorts if I can try them on, or like if I know the brand and how they cut the leg, I kind of understand why that's the case. But either way, like I will pick up Zulu and Zephyr no matter what, like especially if I'm finding it in the bins, because it's gonna be like a minimum $20 sale, and that's on the low end. But these I had listed for $34, and I had them listed for about 2 months. And I got kind of a low offer, and I went back and forth with the buyer, and we landed on a price of $25. And, you know, if this was like May, I probably wouldn't have taken that. But in the interest of it being like the end of summer, I wanted to move these on. So anyway, so I took that $25 offer after 2 months. And again, I got these at the bin, so it's still a very healthy return. Just knowing that this is Zulu and Zephyr, though, if the timing was a little bit different, I probably would have held on to get a little bit more for them, because they do these retail for like $200. Anyway, so with the $1 cost on these, that brought my profit to $19 even. And I hope she loves them. They are lovely. And again, I'm happy to move them on for the winter. And just for you guys, definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. Actually, if you've ever found Zulu and Zephyr, let me know down below. I don't know how big of a brand it is. I have found a couple pieces here, but again, we have a huge Aussie population in Southern California, and it's like always summer, so we see a little bit more of those kind of higher end swim related brands here. So let me know if you found it and where you are. Interested to hear. Next up, again with the Olympic effect, this is a little Tokyo 2020 shirt that I found. This is Nike Dry Fit. If I have to guess, this was either like a souvenir shirt or like a volunteer shirt. Either way, Tokyo 2020, I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a collector's item. We were just talking about this last night. So the closing ceremonies were last night for the Olympics, as of the day that I'm filming this. And we were just talking about how great we felt that the Olympics went this year. Just the vibes were high about it. And I remember last Olympics, like the Tokyo Olympics, obviously we had, you know, the shutdown. So that was a factor in it. There was no crowd, so there was no energy. And if you remember correctly, I think it was Sha'Carri Richardson was like disqualified right before going in because she tested positive for THC or something ridiculous like that. I do find that funny that they consider THC a performance enhancing drug. As far as I know, that just makes people kind of sleepy, you know? So anyway, so it was just like good vibes, and it was really fun to watch it. It was really fun to kind of get into the sports and enjoy the excitement again. We watched some really like incredible athletes do some really incredible things. And Anyway, so I'll pick up anything with the Olympic rings on it because I know that there's going to be buyers for it. But this one I did sit on for a little bit, but I think more than anything was because I think this was a size extra small. But anyway, I had this one listed for $23 and I've had it for about 7 months. Kind of not surprised that it sold around Olympic time. And I got an offer for $17, which I gladly accepted. With the $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $13.43. Again, I think that eventually, I think that there's going to be some things that are going to be collector's items that came out of the shutdown. What a weird time we all lived through. All right, next up, this is another interesting one. Okay, so this I've actually had for months and months and months, and I just didn't list it. It was one of those things that like didn't excite me, so I didn't list it. Classic, tale as old as time. So this is a sweater. There was no tag in it, but when I picked it up, I'm like, that looks like Freddy Krueger sweater. And sure enough, this is made by like a costume company, but it is, believe it or not, all cotton. This is an all cotton sweater. It actually feels pretty nice. So knowing that kind of Halloween is like right around the corner, I decided to list this and it sold so quick. It not only sold so quick, it got so many likes, it got so many like offers on Depop, it finally sold. But it just goes to show, and I know that there are other people out there like me that, you know, don't really list things that they're not excited about. I'm guaranteed. Tell me if you have the same experience. Like those things that you sit on and you're not excited about listing. Tell me how fast they sell for you, because mine tend to sell very quickly. And this is a prime example of one of them. So I've had this, I want to say I've had this since like January. And it is literally just kind of sat to the side and I haven't touched it since. I ended up listing it about 3 weeks ago and I listed it at $28. Got an offer after 3 weeks for $20, which I gladly accepted. With a $1 cost of the bins, this brought me to $17.57. Super happy to be moving this along, and also like I'm taking my lesson and I'm passing my lesson on to you. Get those things listed even if you're not excited about it. They cannot sell if they are not listed. Next up, this is so fabulous. So this is a vintage beaded like evening jacket. Look at the beadwork on the back here. Isn't that beautiful? It's definitely like early 90s, late 80s. But I found this in the bins and I have a real hard time leaving this kind of beading behind. Anyway, something like this, it was completely unbranded. You really have to like lean on those keywords. The beading here is kind of in a paisley pattern, so you can lean on like Western, evening jacket, vintage 90s, you know, beaded blazer, etc., etc. So like there's a bunch of different ways that you can list this, but yeah, something like this, you really have to like leverage every lever you have. And I've done a standalone video that talks about how to keyword, you know, in the absence of like a brand name or a specific style. You know, you really go into like the who, the what, the where, the when, and the how. You know, who's going to wear it? How are they going to wear it? When are they going to wear it? You know, et cetera, et cetera. And that should help you pull up the keywords that you are looking for. And this, believe it or not, actually had a good amount of traffic on it. It had a good amount of like likes and looks at it. But the funny thing is, despite the fact that this is very 90s, and if you look at this and you know, like it can feel dated, but I also know that there's somebody out there that's going to turn that into like a fabulous outfit. Throw that on over some like jeans and a little tube top and it'll be like a whole vibe. So anyway, I had this listed for $36 and I had it listed for 3 months. And I got an offer for $28.50, which I gladly accepted. With a $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $23 even. And it is, again, such a cool piece, one of a kind, one of those things like find another. Next up here, we've got this cute little vintage dress from BCBG. This is just a velvet little like skater fit and flare dress. This is definitely vintage. You can take a look at that tag there. It's like perfect condition, but it is a size small. But I did have a lot of action on it. This came in on Friday. And again, it had been really slow all week. So I was kind of in the interest of moving some items. And I got like 3 back-to-back like extreme low balls on this, like $8. One was 8, I think one was like 7. And generally when I get an offer that low, like I'm not even gonna really reply because I really just don't think that we're gonna come together on it's not how I run like my pricing. And I know that there's a lot of people who sell things that low and they do just high volumes and that's what works for them. That is not how it works for me. And that's okay. There is room in the marketplace for everybody. But anyway, so I had this listed for $32. And I generally see between like 20 and 30 on like less significant vintage pieces like this. So she and I had gone back and forth. She also sent me kind of a lowball offer, but it was kind of in that range of like, let's dance. So we went back and forth a few times and we landed on $18. I had it for 2 weeks. With the $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $13.40. Either way, I hope she loves it. It is an adorable little dress and perfect timing too. Next up here, we've got this cute fully linen dress from Rachel Zoe. Now, Rachel Zoe is not a brand I pick up all that often. Her stuff is adorable, but it's just not a brand that sells well for me. The two things that set this apart is number one, that it's 100% linen, and number two, that it's brand new with tags. It's really cute. It's double rope, like braided shoulder straps, kind of like a racer back, and it's a size extra large. So it was kind of a like great combination of things. Double slits up the side. It's just a really cute dress. So I picked it up, and again, I got this at the bins, so it was a steal of a deal. This is another one that I've had so much interest on. So many offers over on Depop that never came to fruition. You know, again, tale as old as time. We've all experienced that from time to time. But this being a little white dress, being 100% linen, you know, I used all of the appropriate keywords. I used little white dress, you know, bridal shower, bachelorette party. It's 100%. I could see somebody wearing something like this, you know, at like a destination bachelorette party. But again, I did have this for a long time and I had a lot of offers on it and none purchased. So very, very strange. It's funny how certain things on Depop kind of have that happen to me. You know, I'll get like literally like 30, 40 offers and none of them will come to fruition. And some things will just pop through as a full price sale. Anyway, so I had this listed for $58. And I had it for about 3 months and it popped through as a full price sale. And with a $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $42.63. It's such a beautiful dress and I hope she loves it. I mean, just linen anything. That's just like a dreamy, breezy dress. Next up, oh, this was an interesting one. So this is Eileen Fisher Stretch Silk. Anyway, I saw this and it didn't have a tag on it, but like I kind of knew what it was once I touched it. And then I looked at the inside tag and you can see the green Eileen tag. And it's just a perfect little like cream shell. This can be worn under pretty much anything. It's not a super significant piece, but stretch silk from Eileen Fisher does sell very, very well. I've never had a piece sit for more than a couple weeks. And it is, you know, it is egregiously expensive retail. Something like this was probably close to $200, if not higher, being silk. It's also about a size small, but the fact remains that it was Eileen Fisher silk, and that just moves no matter what. So I had this listed at $36 for just 1 week, and I had an offer for $29, and this was a Mercari sale. So with a $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $28. This is a great, quick sale. I will pick up Eileen Fisher stretch silk anytime I see it. Next up here, we've got a 2-piece bundle, and this is like, could it be more adorable? So this is a pair of jeans from Pilcrow and the Letterpress. And I love, they've made a couple of these like patch style, boho style jeans. And they're in this like slouchy boyfriend cut. And I just think that they are so, so cute. They give me like Magnolia Pearl vibes, right? Like they give me that feel, you know, without the price tag. So we had this cute pair of jeans, and then she also picked up this beautiful shirt. This is from 68 & Brothers, which I believe is a Japanese brand. This feels like, can you tell like the body in this? It's like an ultra heavyweight jersey, borderline, tight knit cotton sweater. And this is, if you ever feel the real deal French sailor shirts, which is what like a St. James is modeled after, a lot of like what J. Crew does is modeled after. This is what they feel like. They're very, like they're heavyweight. They're built for warmth. And this I think is like, they're typically cut unisex, right? So they don't have like men's specific cuts and women's specific cuts. They're usually just pretty straight. This is a piece that like will be in your wardrobe forever. In particular, like I have a St. James, which is very similar to this, a little bit lighter weight. I have a St. James that I think I've had in my closet for about 20 years and I still wear it all the time. I absolutely love it. So this is a cool little bundle. This is a very like Julia style bundle. So I'm hoping she loves the pieces. That 68 Brothers though was an interesting find. So it is, I believe, again, a Japanese brand. And it looks like they're more in like the streetwear aesthetic. Like when I found their website, it was a lot more like hoodies and baggy jeans and like that kind of vibe. And this really does not kind of flow with that vibe. But you know, a good sailor shirt is like forever and it goes with every style. Like I could easily see somebody wearing that shirt with like some vintage Jenkos, which are like super, super hot right now. Anybody who's my age who grew up in the era of Jenko jeans, like I can't believe they're back. I can't believe they're back. It's one thing for trends to come around again, but man, when you think about a Jenko jean, like they're maybe the least functional clothing that's like ever been made. I mean, they're hard to walk in. If it rains like one drop, you are soaked up to the back of your knees. It's funny. It's funny, but here we are. Anyway, so this bundle price with my discount was $61. She made me an offer of $52.36, which I gladly accepted. The sailor shirt was a same-day sale, and then the Pilcrow and the letterpress jeans I had for about 4 months. $2 total cost of the bin, so this brought my profit to $39.88. And these are some great pieces. They really are some like unique, interesting pieces. And that sailor shirt, you take care of that and that will literally last forever. That'll outlast your children's children. It's just made really well. Next up, this is kind of a funky one that I found. This is a dress, size 3X. And so I don't pick up a ton of Nike. I don't pick up like your typical like Norts, Nike run shorts, whatever they call them. But what I do pick up is anything that's Nike that looks interesting, that looks unique. I kind of adhere to the same standards with like Adidas. I'll pick up kind of interesting things because they can be like limited edition and have quite a good like resale value, especially with Adidas. They have a lot of like collabs, like Y3 for sure. You want to keep your eyes out for. Nike, I think it's Nike ACG, but there's certain like lines for Nike that I'll pick up. There are certain lines for Adidas that I'll pick up. And this was just unusual. Like it's a little dress. It's got the kind of shadow swoosh here. This is called the Icon Clash. I'm not quite sure what the line is, but I know that there are a lot of people out there who do very well with Nike. If you are one of them, let us know like what you pick up down below. I'm assuming that this is something that you kind of need to build your follower base for, but let us know if you do really well with Nike type stuff. Let us know what you pick up and like what you get for it. So I had this listed for $32 and I had it listed for 5 or 6 months, somewhere in the middle there. And I got an offer for $27, which I gladly accepted. I was ready to move this on. With a $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $20.36. I feel the same way about Nike that I feel about Levi's. Like I know that there are people out there who do really, really well with them, but I just don't think I know enough about them to really go hard at it. So if you have info, let us know down below. And finally here we have this super adorable shirt from Madewell. This is I think this is called the Courier shirt, and they have these little sleeves, which are, by the way, like some of the most flattering sleeves. This took a little bit longer because of the embroidery. These are like little pelicans. You see kind of closely, they're embroidered, they're super cute, but these shirts in particular from Madewell, people really love them. I've sold like plaid ones. I've sold so many of these type shirts. Again, this one I think took a little bit longer because of the embroidery, but I've sold so many of these within 1 or 2 days that I will continue to pick them up. They're great like everyday shirts. You know, they're like white button down shirts with a little bit of like visual interest to them. So I think that's why people love them. Plus, you know, when it comes to something like a Madewell or like a Gap or something like that, typically it's not like a Zara where the sizing can be all over the place, which is a real thing. If you are somebody that like doesn't have like easy access to a mall or prefers to shop online, like it's really hard to shop at places like a Revolve or like H&M or Zara or anything like that. I mean, it's just, you know, with something like a Madewell, their sizes are so perfectly standardized that you know what you're getting. Like, I know what jean size I am in Madewell. I can order any pair of their jeans, know it's gonna fit me right. I don't have to go to the mall. I don't have to deal with, like, you know, the fitting room and the whole rigmarole that it requires to go to the mall. So there's value in that. And I think people really like these kind of basics from stores like that for that reason, amongst other reasons. But I think that that's one of the reasons. This, I think, is part style, part the fact that it's a Madewell. I had this one listed for $30 for about 8 months. And again, unusual. I've sold probably 15 of these shirts in the interim, but here we are. Anyway, so I had this listed for $30 for 8 months. I got an offer for $21.60, which I gladly accepted. I was ready to move this on. And with the $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $17.07. And that is the shipment for today. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me while I literally get my work done. I so appreciate you taking a little bit of your precious time to hang with me. Again, I apologize for the air conditioner noise. It's been in and out. It's just too hot to be without it. I will do my best to kind of silence it in editing, but I appreciate you sticking around through it. But guys, without further ado, it is super, super late. So I'm getting to the point where, like, I have to get to the post office before it closes. So thank you all again for hanging out. If you had fun, please consider giving this video a like, comment. Don't forget to subscribe. I'd love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, have the most beautiful weekend. Happy hunting, and I will see you in the next one.